Recorded Books presents A Wonderful Guy, Conversations with the Great Men of Musical Theater, edited by Eddie Shapiro. Narrated by Donald Corren, Beresford Bennett, and Christopher Salazar. This book is dedicated to Alfred, Richard, John, Jerry, George, Robert, and all the spiritual ancestors of the men whose stories follow. It is also dedicated to the great men yet to come, and to those whose theater careers might have exploded were they not cut short by a plague. Introduction. In Nothing Like a Dame, Conversations with the Great Women of Musical Theater, I had the honor of talking with many of the greatest living female stars of the musical stage, collectively sharing 60 years' worth of Broadway's oral history. But, of course, the women only tell part of that story. For every Evita, there's a Shea. Every Mrs. Lovett has her Sweeney Todd. Bess and Porgy will always share an ampersand. It was time to write the book my nieces insist on calling Nothing Like a Dude. As with the women, I wanted to sit down with everyone I could for career-encompassing conversations. Most articles I'd read about these men left me wanting more, so I wanted these chapters to have the luxury of length. Given the realities of publishing, however, long chapters meant a short roster. So, once again, in order to cull the list of eligible men, I needed criteria. The primary prerequisite was that all the men in this book have a robust and ongoing career in musicals. Theater had to be the thing for which they are best known. There are fantastic performers who have done extraordinary work in musicals, but Broadway isn't their primary residence. Hugh Jackman, Alan Cumming, Neil Patrick Harris. There are other greats who contributed more significantly as creators than performers. Tommy Tune, Lin-Manuel Miranda, Harvey Fierstein. And there are excellent working actors who may not yet have had the opportunity to shine as leading men, or to do quite as many shows. I love you, Ben Platt, but the list of shows we'd be able to discuss is a short one, at least as of this writing. The final, and not insignificant qualifier, however, was saying yes. The 19 men whose words make up these pages did more than just say yes. Every single one of them was incredibly generous with their time and their candor. They sat for hours. They shared food. They shared gossip. And they offered wisdom, sometimes in the form of life lessons I never saw coming but will always cherish. In some instances, conversations happened over a period of months, or even years, so you might notice an occasional time lapse. Have no worries, you haven't misread something. Hopefully you will enjoy the opportunity to feel like a fly on the wall. With Dame, I was pleased to offer a picture of what it meant to be a woman in musical theater over the last half-century. I am excited to add a companion with new colors and textures. These chats, while they can certainly stand alone, tell a fuller story when taken as a whole. They intertwine. These men have not only played the same parts, worked with the same collaborators, inhabited the same dressing rooms, they inspire and learn from each other. They are each other's role models. Together, they provide connections and insights to decades of ephemeral history created within a mere 12-block span of Manhattan. Chapter 1. Joel Grey. Borscht Capades, Broadway, 1951. The Littlest Review, Broadway, 1956. Stop the World, I Want to Get Off, National Tour, Broadway, 1962. Half a Sixpence, Broadway, 1965. Cabaret, Tony Award, Broadway, 1966. George M., Broadway, 1968. Good Time Charlie, Broadway, 1975. The Grand Tour, Broadway, 1979. Cabaret, Broadway, 1987. Chicago, Encores, Broadway, 1996. West End, 1998. Wicked, Broadway, 2003. Anything Goes, Broadway, 2011. Joel Grey offered a tour as soon as I entered his sunny loft overlooking the Hudson River.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?